play with your food.
Is this made from real lemons? Yes. I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies. Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
Thing, you're a handful. I've done this
Holiday season, they'll make you feel right at home.
last night. You're like some desperate howling demon. You frightened me. Do it again.
The Addams Family. Sorry, but you'll have to wait November 22nd.
Well, if you haven't guessed, Chip Roach is going to be reviewing the Addams Family. And I will do that right after this very important message from our buddies Fred and Barney.
Fred, King Cutrock looks like you. He filled his tomb with gold and apple cereal. Part of his good breakfast. That mummy's no dummy, but his tomb and treasure vanished. We gotta find them. These symbols could be clues. Spawn! Somebody help! You can help Fred and Barney find my lost treasure with these glow in the dark medallions. Each has a secret clue the guys need.
Cool.
One free medallion in my boxes of pebble cereal. We're going for the gold!
Well, this is Chip Roach, and I am now finally reviewing the Addams Family, which came out in 1991. And it made close to $200 million. Not too shabby. And this starred Raul Julia, Angelica Houston.
Who?
Raul Julia was mainly, I believe, a Shakespearean actor. I know he was in Macbeth. He unfortunately ended his movie career with Street Fighter. And then he died shortly after that was, either before it was released or after. I don't remember which one. But sadly, he did die with stomach cancer. So he had some trouble with doing treatment and acting at the same time, but he was a good sport about it. So, unfortunately, he did die with that eventually. And Angelica Houston is in this. I didn't see her in too much stuff, but she was in a lot of stuff in the 70s. Actually, she's been doing a lot of stuff now. She was in some Star Wars stuff. So Angelica Houston, getting back to her, she was in Ever After, Buffalo 66, Buffalo Girls, and I guess Daddy Daycare. And she was in one episode of Medium as well. So, not as much stuff as I thought I've seen her in. Maybe I didn't see Angelica Houston in much stuff. Well, anyways, Christina Ricci is also in this.
Who?
She was in Casper.
Who?
She was a little girl in Casper.
No.
Yes. She was in she was in Now and Then.
Nope.
She was in Lizzie Borden.
Nope.
You've really never seen Christine Ricci in any... She's even in Wednesday.
No.
Okay, well, she plays
Who the hell is
Wednesday.
she in Wednesday?
I don't know. Somebody in that show. I've only seen it once because I thought it was ridiculous. Gomez Addams looked like he just ate a pound of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Okay, you're not telling me who she is, though.
I honestly don't remember if it's one of her teachers. I really don't know. She's one of the normal people, I guess.
The only normal movie in that was The Nurse Lady, and she was not normal.
Oh, I'd have to look it up. But, nope, so Christina Ricci, as I said, was Casper, Lizzie Borden.
Nope.
She was in Now and Then.
Nope.
And Family Values.
Nope. Well, yeah, but that's obvious.
When I show clips, you will probably recognize her.
She looks nothing like the girl from Casper. We went through this when I did Casper.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so Christopher Hart actually plays, he plays the hand named Thing. So that is Christopher Hart's hand. I don't really know too much on him. This was like his big thing here.
Was a hand?
Yes. It was a very important part. Very, very tricky to film as well, from what I just read. And Christopher Lloyd is Uncle Fester.
Who?
And we all should know who Christopher Lloyd is with his very impressive resume.
Of?
At least some of us should. The Back to the Future movies. All
Nope, never
three
seen
of
them.
As Dr. Brown. He
Nope.
was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Definitely never seen it.
He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit as Judge Doom.
Never seen it. I think I'm the only person from the 90s that never seen that movie.
He was in Angels in the Outfield as Al.
Nope.
He was in Piranha.
Nope.
That was his more recent movie.
Never seen it.
He was in Dennis the Menace as the thief.
Nope, never seen it.
Addams Family Values as, of course, Uncle Fester.
Okay, I know that, but that's just not helping me.
Okay, I am really trying to think about Camp Nowhere.
Nope.
He was in an episode of Cheers.
Never seen it.
Okay, well, I will just have to show clips.
Anything I've seen?
I don't know. Rent-A-Kid. I'm really trying here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, Christopher. I'm sure I'm missing movies that he was in, because he was in a ton, especially in the 90s. Let's see, was he in? No, he was not in Dookie of the Year or anything like that.
Never seen it anyways.
All right, so I'm just pretty much going to have to wing it here. Let's see, Dan Haida is the lawyer in this movie. We saw him in Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Nope.
He was in Dookie of the Year.
Nope.
He was actually in Cheers a lot. He was Rhea Perlman's scummy husband in that movie. He was in The Hurricane. He was the corrupt cop, and he, of course, is a sleazy person in this as well.
Never seen him.
So the story of this is, and I forgot who played the Granny. I'll have to look her up in just a second. Anyways, so the story here is they're trying to bring Uncle Fester back. He's been lost for quite some time. So eventually they do sort of bring him back. He's traveling with a psychologist, and she's trying to trick them into getting the Addams fortune. So she has Fester, and it turns out that, yes, is he Fester or not? In case you haven't seen the movie, I am not going to spoil it, so I'm not going to tell you. So
Why? You already tried.
it was close, but no real cigar. So I know that most people have probably seen this movie,
Nope.
because it is considered a classic by a lot, except for our two foolish fools that we will be meeting at the end of this review to see what their review is.
Yay!
So
I'm so looking forward to that.
So let's see. So they do try to get the Addams treasure, and a lot does end up going on here. Let's just say the Addams somehow get thrown out of their mansion. They're trying to find out if this is Fester or not. They get caught up into a lot of stuff. But the guy who is the imposter to Fester, before the Addams get thrown out, he does find the Addams ways kind of enjoyable and fun. He happens to like playing with dynamite. He teaches the kids Shakespeare, and there's a little scene at school which I will have to show because it's really funny. And the Addams mischief is pretty funny as well, just shooting golf balls at the judge. So I will show the first clip, and this is pretty much what the Addams think of Christmas carolers. And yes, I really wish Cash Prizes was in this opening scene, and I will show that in just a second. Well, this is the opening scene here with the wonderful carolers, just being all happy and giddy and cheerful. And the Addams family are pretty cheerful themselves, but they just like to kind of, they're not so kindly to Christmas carolers as they dumped some type of liquid on them, I assume. And the grandma apparently is played by Judith Molina, and Lurch is played by Carol. I'm not going to bother pronouncing his name because I can't. So Judith Molina was in the Bachelor Party, in some movie called Candy. Never heard of either of those?
Nope.
And I know they had a different grandma for the Addams Family values, but that's besides the point. This is a good opening scene here. Let's dump stuff on Christmas carolers. I kind of like that part. So now I will show the next clip of the cheerful judge and what he thinks of Gomez Addams and his golf game. I have to say, at least Gomez has more of a personality than today's golfers that are boring, stiff, and I think they forgot to buy a personality at the local KB toy store.
Damn you, Addams! Sorry about the window, Judge. Keep the ball. I have a whole bucket full.
So here's Gomez Addams having fun shooting golf balls. That is what this family does. They just have their own way of having fun. They just obviously don't fit in with the, I don't know if I want to say normal people, but I guess people that do normal things. So, yeah, so Gomez tends to shoot a golf ball a very, very far distance. I wish he would join the PGA Tour. Oh, yes, that's right. He doesn't cheat like some of my friends who like to tee off on the wrong tee and then say it's a no shot. I think Gomez would put him in his place real fast, or even cheat on their scorecards as well because they can't count, or they pretend not to count. One of the two, or both. So, anyways, yes, he shoots that ball into the judge's window, and believe it or not, those are what the cereal tricks used to look like. They just used to be colorful balls. They were not in the fruit. They were not in the shape of fruit at this time. That came later on. I'm sorry to. This is an educational show. I am letting them know. I'm letting the audience know what tricks used to look like at one point.
Nope, you're lying.
They changed. I am not lying.
You're
No,
sure.
I'm also not lying. Now, because the judge is eating these tricks, his body is now full of poison. And his body is now dyed with nice yellow, red, and purple colors. So that judge probably will need a colonoscopy and a full body scan in the next couple of years. So he thinks the Addams family is bad. Wait for his future medical tests. So now I will go to the next scene where we meet the Addams lawyer. And I'll tell you, I wish you could mess with a lawyer like this. Because yes, he is a sleazeball. And we are going to meet him in just a second.
Through money. I'm going to deposit the funds under my name for tax purposes. That's inspiring. We would have wanted that. Beloved, Festa. Indeed. For Festa! For Festa, brother! My brother! One of a kind! The doctors all said it! Kind to animals, so good with children. They never proved anything. $1 million is the perfect amount. It's brilliant. It's untraceable.
But Tully, it's not all business.
This is in my name. Make an exception. Old business is old business, and new business is new business, and this is new business, and we do not discuss new business until next quarter. Next quarter?
Fine lunch, but your repulsed. A tad rusty. comfortable, old man, while I get the money for the monthly expenses.
Thank you, Jim. Oh my God. What is it? A finger trap from the court of Emperor Wu. Mama. It's for charity. Widows and orphans. You need more. But who? About the sales tonight. I wish you'd come. It's Gomez I'm terribly worried about.
There. The monthly expenses.
So there's some pretty cool stuff here going on. We see the how Gomez gets to his safe. Obviously, Tully wants to put the deposit in his name. Obviously, he's looking to steal. That's what lawyers like to do, I'm sure. So there's also a finger trap that they're donating to the orphanage. I know they don't call it that anymore. But yes, there's a finger trap that looks very, very valuable. So that's kind of cool looking. I would actually like to find that on eBay if I can, but I'm sure it's very expensive. Oh, I'm only joking. So I'm obviously getting the no for the finger trap. So I won't be showing that as a prop during Addams Family Values eventually. So now what they're trying to do is they are trying to look for Uncle Fester. So let's see if he appears in the next scene, since they did find the imposter for him. So let's see what he looks like in the next scene when Lurk is chiming on the organ. So we'll do that in just a second.
He's at the door!
Could it be? Is it him? Is it possible? Oh my God.
Thomas.
The waves, there were walls of doom. Can you imagine? That dragon from ocean, from the very jaws of oblivion. I'm telling you, there were tests, so many tests. A complete psychological profile. At long last, the Florida Department of Physicians are there. They say, lo and behold, oh my, oh my, oh my. God, tell it on the mountains. He is your brother.
Well, not very nice words here. Well, this is the imposter, Mr. Fester, or Brother Fester. This is Gordon. They just shaved his head. He had a big, bushy, brown hairdo at the beginning, which I did not show because I'm trying not to give too much away, which I'm sure I'm already getting a very funny look about. So, yes.
You didn't show it because you didn't want to give too much away, but yeah, you
Yes.
showed him bought and then explained how he got bought.
Well, I explained it, but I didn't actually show the actual scene. There was a lot going on there. So
There's a lot
this-
going on inside your head, too.
Yes, it's all good stuff. So
Okay.
so this is the doctor is also with him too. This is supposedly Dr. Penderstroff or something like that. I had trouble with the accent, but her real name is Mrs. Craven. That is the real name of this character that's in this movie. So now I will show the what do I call them? 90s contraptions, and we get to see the part of the vault that Gomez likes to play in every now and then, and he gets to take Fester down, or sorry, Gordon down there with him, and we'll show you that he is kind of an imposter because he doesn't exactly have fun here. So, now again, this movie is a comedy, so you're not supposed to watch this with a serious turtle face. So I will show that scene coming up in a couple seconds.
Speaking of turtle.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes, perfect. Turtle face. There he is.
I feel like we're children again. Hey, you're it! Playmate, come on and play with me. And make a dolly tree. Climb up my apple tree. Down my rainbow. Slide down my shovel. Dolly tree. Smell that air, Fester. Taken home. Set ahoy.
Huxley, sit in the chair. Why? So we can play a game. What game? It's called Is There a God?
Well, this is what I mean by 90s contraptions. They have these fun things in the 90s where they have these little trap doors and fun slide type of things, and they really kind of, for most movies, they really they bring their imaginations to the limit, in my opinion. This was really cool. There's no lame CGI or CG or any of that crap.
No,
This is-
just you.
Yes, just me explaining how these were so much better because these were at least realistic sets. So, we have the scene here with Fester not enjoying his little ride here. He's being pretty lame about it, and he's acting like a scared little kid. And now the next scene we have how Pugsley and Wednesday. So this is Pugsley and Wednesday playing a game. There's Pugsley with his obviously with the guillotine as he's cutting something in half. And now Wednesday wants to play a more extreme game, and as you can see, it's called Is There a God? That sounds like such a fun game. So these are the games that the Addams kids like to play. And Pugsley, of course, is played by Jimmy Workman, which, if you don't know who that is, I really don't feel too bad. He wasn't in much. He was in Star Trek in 2009, and apparently he was in the new Beverly Hills Cop movie. He must have had a small role because I don't remember him in that. And of course he was in Addams Family Values as well. So, the next clip I will show is Gordon is sensing that they are onto him. So I will show you that clip in just a second.
I'm almost sure. Of course I tried. I still can't find it. You've got to get over here. Don't say that. You know I do. Let's check.
This can't go on. How can I help him? Tell me, Mama.
Troubled husband. Adultery.
That's good.
So this is Gordon acting all kind of, I guess, sissy-like again. And obviously he's kind of a mama's boy. Just wants to please his mother. So, obviously he's not real Uncle Fester-like. So I guess Morticia and I think some others have caught on to this little charade. But the next scene here, he does find interest in something that the kids are doing when they're playing with swords, and that seems to kind of something triggered in his mind. So he did take interest in the violence of a Shakespeare play. So he does end up sneaking out of the mansion, disobeys his mother's orders into staying, and he actually ends up going to the play. And I'm going to show this scene because it is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. We've all been to those school plays where we just want to get out of there because they're so dreadfully boring. Well, Wednesday in Pugsley is coming to everybody's rescue, to those parents who are watching the play with a serious turtle face.
Oh, from this time forth, I thought you imagine nothing well. If I must try, said I will. A hit! A very powerful hit. Oh, proud death! What feast is poured in thine eternal cells? Sweet oblivion, open your arms.
And I found this part very entertaining.
This fart.
Yes, I did actually say that. That's okay. So yes, this part was very entertaining. This is what I call a school play. With the swords and then Kool-Aid or high fructose corn syrup going all over the audience. And I don't know if you noticed the part, but the lawyer, Tully, is actually wiping all of the liquid stuff on his lovely wife, which we've also seen in Home Alone 2. So, this is one of my favorite parts of the movie, and yes, the judge has that wonderful red stuff all over him, but he should be used to it. He eats Trix cereal. So now I will show the next clip here, and as things are becoming fun for Gomez and Fester, things kind of take a dramatic change later on in the movie, and I'm going to show you what that sleazeball Tully is up to next.
Order. Restraining order.
Yes, it requires you to keep a distance of 1,000 yards from this house.
I am restrained from my own house.
Not your house, mustache. Not anymore. It belongs to the oldest living descendant, the elder brother, Fester Addams.
Fester adores Gomez.
Oh, no, he's afraid of him. Seeing the twins brought it all back. You're bitter rivals, Gomez.
I demand to speak with Fester.
Sorry, no can do. He's very hurt. Just be.
I declare Fester Addams legal executor of the Addams estate and rightful owner of all possessions and properties contained therein, with one exception, Gomez Addams. I believe these are yours.
Well, here is an interesting little twist here. Is the Addams family, the Addamses are now being kicked off of their own premises by the sleazeball Tully. So apparently that Fester is afraid of his brother. The twins at a previous party, I guess, brought this on themselves. They kind of supposedly told Fester that, yes, that he does belong there. So, obviously the courts rule in Fester's favor because the judge was, well, too busy munching on his wonderful Trix cereal and was tired of getting golf balls, I guess, knocked through his really cheap Lego windows. Maybe he shouldn't have cheapened out on those. And maybe he shouldn't be eating poison for breakfast. But that's besides the point. The judge ruled that the family has to leave the house. But that's okay because now they check into a Motel 6. Where at least Pugsley and Wednesday decide to open up a lemonade stand. And this is another one of my favorite parts of the movie. And I will show you that in a second. And do me a favor, maybe put a smile on their face and buy some of that lemonade. I'm sure it's delicious. And I will in just a second.
Here, alert, on the house. Are you sure they're real lemons? Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies. Do we have a deal? Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
To push them in, when lo and behold, Hansel pushed the poor defenseless witch into the oven instead, where she was burned alive, writhing in agony. Now, boys and girls, what do you think that feels like?
Well, this is what the Addamses are doing now. Like I said about the lemonade stand, and it does look pretty interesting, and I would love to know what's in it. Lurch, obviously, breathed fire, and then we had the little prissy Girl Scout, the Girl Scout cookie, prissy Girl Scout cookie person came and she asked if they were made from real lemons, and then of course they asked if they're made with real Girl Scouts, and she obviously left the stand. The other part of this that was funny is Patricia Addams is trying to be I couldn't tell if that was a kindergarten teacher or a preschool teacher, and she's pretty much teaching children that the witch in Hansel and Gretel was good, and they put the poor defenseless witch in the oven, and obviously the kids started crying like a bunch of babies. So no real sense of humor there by the children. I thought it was hilarious. I do remember laughing in the theater during this part, and this was I think my first PG-13 movie seeing in the movie theaters. So apparently I am getting in trouble because I did not see this movie when I was 13 years old. I was 7, so that would be not even close. So I guess I did get penalized for the non-13 type of deal. They weren't as strict back then. I'm not sure if they're strict now, to be honest with you. I think they're just happy to get anybody in nowadays. So, I don't know. But I was with my parents, so nobody got arrested or anything like that. So I will actually only show one more clip, and then I will go on with my grade. So I will show you that in just a second, and now I gotta tell Alexa to turn off the lights. Alexa, turn off all the lights.
Okay. You've done this before.
Morticia, in danger. Stop. Send help at once. You can't. Not with red hot pokers.
Okay, so this is the final clip that I'm going to be showing. And yes, the supposed imposter doctor has no moral principles, as she is trying to stretch Morticia to death. So, I am not going to tell you what happens here, but Thing has decided to play rescue and tell Gomez that his family is in trouble. I'll tell you, this movie was really casted well, it was done well, and they made a really fun Nintendo video game to go along with it. So far so good. I am enjoying this. I will give my grade after the clowns give theirs.
And you chuckle and you keep waiting for it to really take off, and it never does. The Addams Family is based on the classic Charles Addams cartoons and the old TV show, and captures their spirit very nicely in tone and look, but the movie plays like a series of cartoon captions and never really develops any momentum. I've got to admit, though, that the roles are perfectly cast. Here are Angelica Houston as Morticia and Raul Julia as Gomez, and odd as their roles are, they make a good fit and generate some nice, mordant chemistry.
Last night, too.
The plot involves a scheme to infiltrate an imposter into the family, and he's played by Christopher Lloyd, who pretends to be the long-lost Uncle Fester, and whose role is to find out where the family hides its fortune.
Hard memories, precious. Today I like to wander through the house, remembering.
No, sorry, old man. No wandering today. Today we're going straight to the vault. Bravo, Pugsley!
The biggest laugh in the movie involves those two kids who appear in a school play and spray the audience with blood. I laughed at that, and as I said, I enjoyed a lot of the Addams Family, but the screenplay was like a series of aborted takeoffs. There's a one-liner, and then a full stop, and then another gag, and then another pause, and the effect is uncannily like a series of cartoons and captions. Everything is a variation on the one assumption that the Addamses are cheered up by what depresses and frightens everybody else. When Charles Addams did that once a week in his New Yorker cartoons, that approach worked. But as a movie, it gets awfully long and drawn out.
That's exactly the reaction I had, which is that the movie, it's all fits and starts, so then your head starts sort of bobbing because you're waiting for the gag, you're waiting for the gag. The other thing is, Charles Addams cartoons mostly showed the Addams in relief against normal people. So you have the Christmas carolers down below, and they're pouring a bucket of water from the roof. That's one of his most famous images. Well, here, a lot of it takes place in the Addams household, and it isn't as funny when they're all together. The movie starts really taking off about 3/5 of the way through. When they go outside, the Addams family are sort of broken, tossed out of the mansion. If they had put the Addams people with the normal people, more often you would have laughed even more.
That's a very good point, because in those conversations that they have within the house, there's nobody to be the straight man.
Yeah.
There's no place to cut for the reaction shot, and so if we don't get the reaction shot, we don't get the laugh point, and we're just watching this behavior, waiting for somehow.
Here's a movie that you can come in.
The real
you
world.
can come in about an hour and 15 minutes into this picture, and you'll see the funny part.
So this is the famous Siskel and Ebert review. And I really don't understand what Ebert's problem is. I think he was munching on some cookies or some kind of junior mints during the dialogue. Because what they're saying is that there weren't any normal people in the mansion, when that's actually kind of false, because they brought the lawyer in and also his wife. So there were people.
And the doctor.
And the and the doctor. So they brought in normal people in the house. So they did have interaction there. I don't know what they missed. I did find the parts with the family funny, especially what they showed, Pugsley taking the stop sign from the corner, so he caused a car accident, which was supposed to make people laugh. I guess Siskel and Ebert missed that part. So I guess they did not laugh. They probably sat there with Siskel sat there with his mud puppy stare, and Ebert sat there with his serious fat turtle face. So I guess Tubby Lumpkins and Captain Baldy did not like this as usual. They did not have fun with it. I think Captain Baldy, I think he disliked it a little bit more. I actually did find it enjoyable. I thought, like I said, I thought it was casted perfectly. I thought Thing was great, even though I did read that it was very hard to film him. There were a few other challenges, like I said. Raul Julia was fighting with stomach cancer during these two movies, and I guess he did have one instant that kind of made me cringe a little bit. I guess a blood vessel popped in his eye, and his eye actually did come out of his socket, and he had to shove it back in. So that was one thing that he did have to deal with. And, anything with the eyes just makes me cringe. So, So to get back to my grading process here, I would actually give this a B+. I did enjoy this a lot. And I would hope that this... I didn't see if this won any awards. I know that it was shown at the Oscars. I remember my grandma having a VHS tape of it. I would have given it something. It was definitely really, really well done. And like I said, I did see this in theaters, and apparently CPS is getting involved because I was too young to see this in the theater, and CPS being the serious organization as it is, I don't think it's a joke. I think they're really going to look into this. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So yes, I honestly do recommend seeing this. Apparently you can stream this on, what is it called? Paramount Plus? Is that the name? Okay, that is the name of the streaming service. I'm obviously not...
You might be able to get it on Prime, too.
Okay, or you could get it on Prime, or I know I'm going to do my usual recommendation, just buy the thing on eBay for a few dollars. I'm sure it's not expensive, and you might even be able to get free shipping. Or you can even look on Amazon. They might even have it as well. For maybe $6 or $7 at the most. I can't see it being that expensive. So,
I think Walmart had it.
Did Walmart have it? You know what? I think you're right. I think
Halloween time, they usually have it for $5.
I think you're right. I think it had it in one of those. It didn't have the actual cover with it. It was like in a black cover with gold letters or something. So yes, okay. So I'm sorry. Walmart probably does have it. Thank you. So yes. Comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.